The electric current density is a vector quantity, scalar quantity, both, none. अभी बताया था वेक्टर क्वांटिटी को मैग्नीट्यूड भी होता है और डायरेक्शन भी होता है, और इसे बोल्ड लेटर्स में ऊपर एक एरो मार्क दिया रहता है. स्केलर क्वांटिटी क्या होती है, उसको सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड होता है. और डेंसिटी के बारे में मैंने क्या बोला था, इट इज ऑलवेज विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू सम एरिया, और उसके हमेशा डिनोमिनेटर में मीटर स्क्वायर आता है. सो अब देखते हैं. आंसर इज इलेक्ट्रिक करंट डेंसिटी इज अ स्केलर क्वांटिटी. इट हैज गॉट ओनली मैग्नीट्यूड. I'm sorry, it is a vector quantity. It has got magnitude as well as direction, क्योंकि उसी एरिया में इलेक्ट्रिक करंट फ्लो हो रहा है. और ऑब्वियसली इलेक्ट्रिक करंट क्यों फ्लो होता है, क्योंकि देयर इज सम पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस बिटवीन द 2 पॉइंट्स. अभी 2 पॉइंट्स है मतलब एक लोअर पोटेंशियल पे होगा और एक हायर पोटेंशियल पे होगा. सो द करंट विल फ्लो फ्रॉम हायर पोटेंशियल टू लोअर पोटेंशियल. अंडरस्टैंड. सो अब लोअर पोटेंशियल, हायर पोटेंशियल से लोअर पोटेंशियल मतलब एक डायरेक्शन निर्धारित की है और एक रीजन में स्पेसिफिक फ्लो हो रहा है विद सम करंट, with some magnitude of the current, यानी कि it has got some magnitude as well as direction, so it is a vector quantity. It tells how much charge flows in a region. ठीक है. अब एम्पियर पर मीटर स्क्वायर, यही मैंने बोला था डेंसिटी है, पर मीटर स्क्वायर आएगा. ये हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद कर लीजिए, एम्पियर पर मीटर स्क्वायर. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. 12th क्वेश्चन है, the surface of the lake is frozen in severe winter but the water at its bottom is still liquid. What is the reason? कोई भी लेक है या सी है, एकदम विंटर में, एक्सट्रीम विंटर कंडीशंस में, जो अपर सरफेस ऑफ द वाटर रहता है वो आइस में कन्वर्ट होता है, जबकि उसके नीचे का, जस्ट बीनीथ द सरफेस, नीचे का वाटर ही रहता है. ऐसा क्यों? व्हाट इज द रीजन? सो द ऑप्शंस आर, आइस इज बैड कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट. सेकंड ऑप्शन, सिंस द सरफेस ऑफ द लेक इज एट द सेम टेम्परेचर एज दैट ऑफ एयर, सो नो हीट इज लॉस्ट. द डेंसिटी ऑफ द वाटर इज मैक्सिमम एट 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस एंड नन. सो द आंसर इज the density of the water is maximum at 4 degree Celsius. अभी इसको विस्तार से अपन देखते हैं. The surface of the lake can freeze in severe winter because the cold air cools the top layer of the water, causing it to reach its freezing point and turn into ice. However, the water at the bottom of the lake remains liquid because it is insulated by the layer of the ice on the top, so which act as a barrier and prevents further heat loss from the water. So the water is dense at around 4 degree Celsius, जो कि 39.2 डिग्री फ़ारेनहीट है. सो नीचे का वाटर रिलेटिवली वार्मर रहता है कंपेयर टू द टॉप सरफेस. सो दिस फिनोमिना इज वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर द एक्वाटिक लाइफ टू सर्वाइव ड्यूरिंग द विंटर मंथ्स, एज दे कैन फाइंड अ रेफ्यूजी इन द अनफ्रोजन वाटर बिलो द आइस लेयर. सो वो ऊपर अगर आइस भी बन जाता है सी या लेक में, नीचे एक्वाटिक जो भी फ्लोरा और फ्योना रहते हैं, दे कैन सर्वाइव बिकॉज देयर इज वाटर. नो आइस फॉर्मेशन टेक्स प्लेस बीनीथ द सरफेस ऑफ द आइस in the lake or sea. Understood? So moving forward to the next question. Lumen is the unit of. Options are luminous intensity, luminous flux, none, both. So answer is luminous flux. अभी luminous intensity का unit क्या है, luminous flux का क्या है, और इसे उनका मीनिंग क्या है वो अपन देखेंगे. So luminous intensity is basically, उसको मेजर किया जाता है कैंडेला में. It is brightness in specific direction. So luminous intensity is a scalar, vector quantity. ठीक है, एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन है. यूनिट क्या है, कैंडेला है. सिंबल CD. अब ल्यूमिनस फ्लक्स क्या है, इट इज मेजर्ड इन ल्यूमेंस एंड इट इज द टोटल ब्राइटनेस एमिटेड बाय लाइट इन ऑल द डायरेक्शन, इन व्हाटएवर द डायरेक्शन. उसका एक स्पेसिफिक डायरेक्शन नहीं है. सो ल्यूमिनस फ्लक्स इज अ स्केलर क्वांटिटी, इंटेंसिटी इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. इसे कैंडेला में मेजर किया जाता है और इसको ल्यूमेन में मेजर किया जाता है. इसका सिंबल है Lm. याद रखना डिफरेंसेस. एक और आएगा टर्म इसी के रिलेटेड आगे क्वेश्चंस में. सो कैंडेला इज द यूनिट ऑफ ल्यूमिनस इंटेंसिटी, luminous flux, luminous pressure, luminous effect. So अभी अपन ने देखा था it is the unit of luminous intensity. And the options are velocity, acceleration, mass and force. So the answer is mass. The next question is, before moving to the next question, we will see these 4 parameters in details. Mass, which is denoted by small m, m is equal to small p by v, where v is the velocity, p is the momentum. Okay, when momentum is divided by velocity, it gives out the mass. So and velocity is nothing but the rate of change of the speed. Rate of change of the speed means changing the speed with respect to time. Acceleration, it is the rate of change of the velocity, that is change in the velocity with respect to time is the acceleration, right? Force is nothing but m into a. M stands for mass and a stands for acceleration. So force is F is equal to ma and mass is p by v. So I hope you are getting the relations between mass, momentum, velocity, acceleration and force. Okay. So next question is, The bodies executing free falling motion have equal momentum, equal velocity, equal acceleration, or equal force. The bodies executing the free falling motion, okay, free falling motion. Answer is equal acceleration. So actually the bodies in a free falling state will experience a constant acceleration due to gravity, and they move vertically under the influence of gravitational force. So idealizing the conditions that there is no air resistance. So they will work only under the influence of gravitational force. This type of motion is fundamentally to understand many aspects of physics like projectile motions and the behavior of the object in gravitational fields. Okay, so when the bodies are executing a free falling motion, they gives us some attribute, some characteristics are there. These are acceleration due to gravity will take place. There will be no resistance. So this acceleration due to gravity will be how much? 9.81 meter per second in the downward direction. No air resistance, but this air resistance does not exist ideally. But practically there will be some negligible amount of air resistance. Next is vertical motion. The direction of the motion is determined by initial velocity and the force of gravity. Next is constant acceleration. The speed of the free falling object increases uniformly as it falls. Okay, so uniform. Next is uniform gravitational field. There will be no significant change over the distance, okay, with respect to time when falling. There will be a uniform gravitational field while exhibiting a free fall. I hope these five characteristics you understood. Out of this, no resistance is only taken ideally, but practically there will be some negligible amount of resistance imposed over a body or experienced by the body. So next question. Increasing amount of CO2 in the air is slowly the temperature of the atmosphere because it absorbs. So the next question is the increasing amount of CO2 present in the atmosphere which is having a high temperatures. Why? Because it absorbs. There are four options: water vapor and retain the heat, ultraviolet part of the solar radiation, all the solar radiations. Fourth is the infrared part of the solar radiations, and the answer is infrared part of the solar radiation. Now we'll see how the temperature of the atmosphere is affected with the increasing levels of CO2. The increasing levels of CO2 in the atmosphere enhances the natural greenhouse effect, resulting in the gradual rise in the global temperatures, and the phenomena often referred to as a climate change. This change in the temperature can be widespread effect on the weather patterns, sea levels, ecosystem, and more, making it significant concern for the planets and the inhabitants. So understood, whenever there is an increase in the CO2 level in atmosphere, there will be increase in the temperature also. Okay, because greenhouse effect increases, and when greenhouse effect increases, there will be certain climatic changes, and there will be changes in the patterns of the atmosphere, the sea level, the ecosystem entirely changes. So this is how levels of CO2 matters for maintaining the temperatures of the atmosphere. Moving to the next question. Rocket operates on the principle of. The options are energy conservation, Bernoulli's theorem, Avogadro's concept. Fourth is momentum conservation. It's very simple question. It works on the principle of momentum conservation. Now we'll see each of them in details. Details will be very short and crisp so that you can get to the point very easily, right? So energy conservation, what do you mean by energy conservation? That energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It only transfers from one object to the another, but the total energy in the system remains unchanged, right? So potential to kinetic, kinetic to potential, and all that transformations will take place, but there will be no net change in the energy. Next is efficiency improvement, like energy conservation principles are applied to designing. So these are listed, this listed is your applications of energy conservation. Basically, these principles are used for designing efficient appliances, vehicles, building to reduce the energy consumption and minimize the environmental impact. Next is renewable energy, development and optimization of the renewable energy like the solar panels, wind turbines, whatever the energy sources which can be renewed again and again, which can be brought from the nature, right, and can be used. The energy can be used again and again without any depletion. That is called renewable energy. And solar energy, wind energy, these all are considered as renewable energies. Rely on the energy conservation to capture and convert the energy effectively. Now what is Bernoulli theorem? Bernoulli theorem is basically related to fluid dynamics. It states that streamline flow of an incompressible idle fluid, the sum of the pressure energy, kinetic energy and potential energy per unit volume remains constant at any point along the flow. So Bernoulli theorem is used in aeronautics, right? Used in aeronautics. So it explains the lift generated by the aeroplane wings, right? It is the lift generated, however your aeroplanes lift themselves with the help of the wings. That all depends on the Bernoulli theorem, and it is very crucial in aviation for designing the aircraft wings and understanding the principles of flight. Next, Bernoulli theorem can be used in medical devices, such as designing the medical devices of blood pressure, monitor, ventilators, and the respiratory equipment. Next concept is Avogadro concept. It states that equal volume of gases at the same temperature and pressure contain the equal number of molecules. Okay, so this concept is the basis for the mole concept in chemistry, where 1 mole is equal to approximately 6.022 into 10 raised to power of 23 molecules. This is called as Avogadro number. I hope you understand. So Avogadro concept is used in chemical reactions, especially in stoichiometry, then enabling the chemist to understand the ratios of the reactants and products in chemical reactions. Next is, it is also used to determine the molar masses, which is very important for chemical calculations. Momentum conservation concept is basically the principle in physics that states that the total momentum of an isolated system remains constant, and if there are no external forces acting on it. Okay, the momentum is the product of mass and its velocity. अभी अपन ने previous question में check किया था कि mass is nothing but momentum divided by velocity. So what momentum यहाँ पे बताया, so that's it. Mass into velocity is nothing but a momentum, and it has got some direction as well as the magnitude, so it is called as a vector quantity. So where this momentum conservation is used, it is used in designing the safety of the cars, like airbags, crumple zones. Then they are also used to reduce the impact force during collisions and protect the occupants. Next, they are also used in the space, like calculating the trajectories and orbit of the spacecraft and satellites. They always use to ensure this momentum conservation is used to ensure that these spacecrafts are reaching their destinations accurately on time. So this is how momentum conservation is used in the spaces. Coming to the 20th question, the blackboard seems black because it reflects every color, does not reflect any color, absorbs black color, or reflect black color. And the answer is does not reflect any color. We'll see its reason. It appears black because it absorbs almost all the visible light and reflects very little. That's why it appears dark. So we use chalk, which makes its writing and drawing on the blackboard visibly clear, right, on the blackboard. That's why white color is used to write, so that we can easily view what is written on the blackboard. So what is the reason why blackboard appears black? Because it absorbs all the colors and does not reflect any. Next question is, a cricket player catches fast coming ball by pulling his hand back because the ball can come to a position of rest. Second, the ball can be accelerated. Third, the ball can exert a large force. Fourth, the ball can exert smaller force. Answer is the ball can exert a large force. We'll see where it is related. Pulling the hand back by the cricketer when catching a fast coming ball is a technique to reduce the force of impact on the hand, which increases the time of contact between the hand and the ball, and this enhances the control of cricketer over the ball. It makes him easier to catch the ball without any injury or pain occurring to the hand. I hope you understood. Next question is question number 22. Force is the product of, अभी अपन ने देखा था, options are mass and velocity, mass and acceleration, weight and velocity, weight and acceleration. So the answer is mass and acceleration. F is equal to m into a. Next question. Weight of a human body is same at every place on the earth's surface, maximum at the poles, maximum at the equator, more on the mountains than the plains. And the answer is maximum at the poles. Now we will see how the weight of a human body varies at different locations on the earth's surface. So see, the weight of the human body varies depending upon the location of the earth's surface due to earth's shape and the variation in gravitational force. It is slightly greater at the poles and slightly lesser at the mountains and relatively constant at the plains. So कहाँ पे ज़्यादा रहेगा? Poles के पास ज़्यादा रहेगा, mountains में कम रहेगा, plains में constant रहेगा. The difference are generally small and do not significantly impact daily activity or measurement of the body weights.